Yo! What's the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Listen, today we have a very, very, very special show. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to harken back to the 80s. Guys, I'm starting to show off around the fire. Everybody gather around and go back to the 1980s with me. Go back to the 1980s with me. Go back to a time where all of your cares will solve at the end of a half-hour sitcom. But today, this is a very, very special episode of Raider Nation Unlimited with Wasted Talent because we have a special guest later on in the show. And he is a draft aficionado. He is a talent evaluator aficionado. He is the great and powerful Broshmo. Broshmo will be here at 8 o'clock. But I wanted to start off. I'm going to change the thumbnail a little later because I have Broshmo prominently featured on the other thumbnail. I was going to do 2 lives, but I said, you know what? Let me do one. Let's talk about some of this Raider news. Guys, it's minicamp. Antonio Pierce has spoken. Brock Bowers has spoken. JPJ has spoken. Hey, even the great Glazinator himself has spoken. So it is time to get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this out on all platforms and pay your bar tabs, meaning hit that subscribe and hit that like button. Get us out in the algorithm more than we already are. Shout out to everybody in the room, yo. Shout out to the Mod Father, the great and powerful Hug Deeds is in a place. Indiana Raider is in a place. William Vernoy is in a place. Oh, my God, man. Eddie Rodriguez is in a place on this beautiful Friday night. Man, it is raining like 10,000 mother effers. I am in the house for the night. And, you know, listen, man, I couldn't think of anything better to do than to tap in with the nation, man. I saw my man Solomon Mitchell said something really dope in the chat, man. He said, man, it is a great day to be a Raider, man. It sure the hell is, ain't it, man? It sure the hell is. My guy, Dan High Stakes Teaser. Paul Edgerton from way, way across the pond. Yo, my brother Paul and Martin, shout out to y'all. You guys are way ahead of us on the clock. It must be like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning over there in Great Britain. Shout out to y'all for pulling up with your brother Wasted, man. That's some dedication, man. I appreciate y'all. Louis Barrios, Couch GM. Oh, my God. Chris Rader's in a place. I mean, Gatling Gun is in a place. Everyone's in a place. Ben Bad and Franklin Skinner, the great writer extraordinaire. So, guys, let's get to it, right? Antonio Pierce has spoken. There's a few things that I love that I heard about him, man, today. You know, Antonio Pierce, went over the fact that, first and foremost, Aidan O'Connell will get the first crack at the starting job. I love this. It shows that I love the mindset of the Raiders with this move. I love the mindset of the Raiders with this move because you kind of know what Gardner Minshew is. Now, Gardner Minshew's not old by any means, right? But Aidan O'Connell is a second-year pro, man. You don't know how the maturation of Aidan O'Connell can take shape. It propel him to be a guy who's a real viable starter. I love the fact that they're pouring into the kid and they're giving him a chance to keep his incumbent spot. I love it. I think that's one of the reasons why the Raiders didn't really jump out the window to try to move up in the draft, because I believe that they believe in Aidan O'Connell. I believe they feel like they kind of found money with Aidan O'Connell in the 4th round, right? Also, you know, I loved some of the banter and the back and forth about, you know, what was going on at minicamp today. As you all know, minicamp has started. Rookie minicamp has started. You know, all of the kids are in place. Everybody signed. You know, it seems like, man, they have a positive feeling around the building, and I love it, man. And I quote, I want to quote Antonio Pierce today. He spoke to the media prior to practice, and he talked about what he expected from the new young players this weekend. He said, learning, we're in elementary school, Pierce said. How we do things, the Raider way, the Raider culture, the Raider mindset, how we play football, how we practice, how we study. They're doing that now in the classroom. They're bright-eyed. I asked them to be here 5 minutes early. They're here about 20 minutes early. They're sitting around in the room by themselves. I looked around and I thought there was a meeting going on, and they're just ready to go. A bunch of eager players. And I think for me, just to get that and just for us to get to know each other, man, is great. He said we talked about trust, accountability, the process. These guys yesterday, man, they have to continue to grow to be accustomed to not only, to be accustomed to the coaches, but the players on the roster. And for all of that learning that will be happening over the next few days for these young players, many of them will also be fighting for a roster spot on this team, Pierce said. And he knows, and he experienced that as a former undrafted free agent himself. And had to break into an NFL roster in his career, man. So listen, man, I'm just like, listen, man, I try to be a guy who, and I don't try to be, I am. I feel like I understand the game. Feel like I know this game. I feel like I have something valuable to offer all of you, right? And you guys have some valuable to offer to me, your time, right? But the one thing that I will never shy away from is the fact that I am a huge fan of this team, and man, I'm very excited, man. Like the hopium is flowing through me in droves, man. It's unbelievable, man. It really is, man. My man said we got 32 Raiders here, and I don't care if you're the 13th pick or a guy that's trying out. You got a Raider uniform on, and we're going to treat you accordingly. They earned the right to stay here. They'll earn the right to get more reps, and they'll just get more and more excited to be here, man. We'll have a full roster. So, look, man, I am super, super excited, man. We got over 200 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And we got the first super of the day, the great and powerful GA Patriot. The Raider Equal Brox is coming. Oh, yes. So after Antonio Pierce spoke, the media went out and they had time to go and talk to our draft picks, man. And Brock Bowers, man, he's like a damn Iceman. I love Brock Bowers, man. He look like he is not here to play. That man looks like he is all business, man. All business, man. I tell you, man, Brock Bowers, man. The more I see this kid, the more excited I am about him, man. This kid is going to be a damn stud, man. He is going to be a stud. And he went out there, talked to the media. He said, man, he's happy to be here. It's fun being with all the guys. He gave you all the rank and file stuff, but he doesn't seem like much of a talker, man. He seems like more of an action kind of a guy to me, man. What do you guys think, man? Shout out to my guy, Raider Felon, in the place to be, man, with the $5 holler, man. Appreciate you. Salute, Wasted. Salute to my brother, Raider Felon, always here supporting the channel, man. Always here. But it's going to be a hell of a training camp, man. I think we're going to have a lot of positional battles. There's also been a positional update. JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, is effectively being moved and trying out for the left guard spot. And the incumbent at that spot has been Dylan Parham. Now, I think a lot of people are looking at this and they're saying Dylan Parham is on notice. And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like everyone's on notice on this team. Everybody's got to compete for their job on this team, right? But I think the spirit of why they moved Dylan Parham is more so a fact of they feel like now he's an elder statesman now because he's been here. This is, his second year here, right? Third year, whatever. And Dylan Parham now can move back to his rightful position of right guard. And what they want to do is they want to take the young rook and put him in between the most senior guy on his line, the most accomplished lineman on his line, our left tackle, Colton Miller, and in between Andre James. So you got the rookie in between the two most senior guys on this roster as far as the offensive line goes, the two most accomplished offensive linemen on this roster. So they can kind of wipe his nose, so to speak. So Parham moving over to right guard, that's his original position. He's going to move over there. He's going to have to compete for that job. And I like the fact that up and down this roster, there's a lot of competition. Do I think that Dylan Parham will be unseated? No, I don't. I think Dylan Parham will have his starting job. I just think that the reason why they moved JPJ over to the left guard was because they want to put the rook in between the two grizzled veterans. So I think this is much to do about nothing. I mean, when you look at the archetype of this Raider offensive line, the Raider offensive line is a collection of guys who can play up and down this line. So now when you have an injury, you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't necessarily have to go crazy scouring the free agent market because you have guys who are positionally versatile, man. It looks to be that is more so the symptom of Tom Telesco's thought process. And I love it, man. I love it. We got a line full of guys that are like Denzel Good or Khalif Barnes. You know what I mean? I love that. I love it, man. Shout out to the chat. My brother Graf is in a place to be. Shout out to my dog, man. Let's go. My guy Gatling Gun. Waste it. I want to say that you were the guy that reminded me to let these guys drafted grow into their role and compete with the other vets and rookies coming in. Gatling Gun, I appreciate you for giving me that adulation, bro. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you, man. My guy, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers to me, man, is man. He looked like a quiet storm, man. See, I love those players that come in that are no nonsense, not a whole lot of talk, man. I love the energy I saw from DJ Glaze today too, man. Delmar Glaze, DJ Glaze, the Glazinator, whatever you want to slice it, however you want to go. But I love the energy from him too, man. The fact that he's in awe of meeting Max Crosby kind of tickled me, man. That never gets old to me, these young players coming in and respecting the guys ahead of them. But what I'm seeing from all of these guys, man, from Cameron Richardson, all of these kids, and I know it's early, man, but it looks to me that the Raiders went out there and they weren't just looking for a position. They were looking for guys who fit in as well. They were looking for a certain personality type and athletic profile. They were looking for people who fit the Raider mold, man. And you know what's going to wind up happening? You're going to have a cohesive unit of players, man. You're not going to have, a guy like a Damon Arnett coming here and mess up the flow. You're going to have a bunch of rookies who get at it, work hard, and they're going to mature into players that are actually going to be, contributors to this team. The one problem with the Raiders over the last, I would say 10 years is that they have not drafted well. And what winds up happening is you don't have any depth. You have ham and no burger. You got peanut butter and no jelly because you have to go out and fulfill all your needs in free agency and pray to God that the free agency move works out as well. My guy, Daniel Caps Keenan. This is the only draft number one from AP. This is the only draft number one from AP and Coupon Time. This could be the start of something my Raiders haven't seen in a long time. I'm definitely getting the feeling of that. Now, I know it's early, so I don't want to jump out of the window, but you can kind of just see there hasn't really been any it's always for the last few years, man, there's always something that happens in the offseason. It's always something weird that'll happen. There's always something to where, we have to kind of have a little trouble. We have to have a lot of anxiety about, right? Like I remember the year we signed Antonio Brown. Great, we got one of the best wide receivers in football. Then it's the feet, the helmet, the this, that. I don't see any of that. Last year, even with Tyree Wilson, he has a stress factor. Is Tyree Wilson coming back? What's going on with Tyree Wilson? Is he going to play? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't had any of that yet. I know it's early, but man, it feels good for things to kind of be, run of the mill, rank and file. Everybody's there. Everybody's early. Everybody's signed. There's nobody that's holding out. Everybody's there starting off, hitting the ground running, buying into a winning culture. I love it, man. My guy, Indiana Raider. Brock knows he is a rookie. He's only going to focus on being a dog and listen to his captions. Hey, man, I'm hoping so, man. My guy, Aidan O'Brady, is in a place, man. Shout out to Aidan O'Brady, man. Bowers looks like Hunter. Main difference is he's good at football and has a job, not standing in line at the fairgrounds waiting for government cheese. Oh, Aidan O'Brady, get the F out of here with that. Aidan O'Brady, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Why are you just gonna throw Hunter Renfrow under the bus? What the F is going on here? What did Hunter Renfrow ever do to you? He did nothing to you, Aidan O'Brady. The F is going on? Damn it. I mean, that was nasty work, bro. Nasty work. Man, I gotta get you threw me off with all of the Hunter Renfrow hate. Aidan O'Brady, what the F is going on? My God, Solomon Mitchell. At this point, it's up to them to just stand in their own way and just let them cook. Solomon Mitchell, man, you have been early in this show the MVP of this stream. You are cooking, and I'm gonna have to let you to continue that. Oh, Solomon Mitchell, let that man cook. Dan Teeser, the camera shouting out Tay is the greatest wide receiver in the league. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, man. Look, I understand. You know what I see? The one common denominator with all of these young guys that they've brought in, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing guys that have elite athletic traits. I'm seeing guys who tested well. Now, I'm not the big pro football focus guy, but there is a lot of validity to some of their metrics in pro football focus. I don't swear by it. It's not always 100% right, but what is in life, right? But when you see some of the pass blocking grades from Glaze or from JPJ, right? That's tangible information that you can use, and you as a fan and as a pundit of the Raiders can feel very, very positive about, right? The fact that we took a man like Glaze and we're not depending on him to start is a beautiful thing. So he's a developmental piece, because they're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater trying to keep their jobs. This is AP's first year. This is Telesco's first year. They have the latitude to build for the future, build the foundation of this team. So what you do is you go out there, you build a strong foundation. The house that you build on top of it may become a mansion, because you don't have to go out every year in free agency and replace people. You don't have to, especially if you draft well. That's the secret sauce to whatever team you speak of. Whatever team you see out there that is a championship team, most 99% of those teams are built through the draft. And I feel like the Raiders are trending in that trajectory, man. I really do, man. Wasted. When was the last time we signed our picks 2 weeks after the draft? And how much of a positive feeling is that? I can't remember the last time that every rookie was signed like that. I can't, bro. Probably since 2014. He said, Delmar tickling you threw me off. No cat. What the F is going on here? What's going on here? Shout out to my dog, man. Gatling gun wasted. Gotta get this shit off my chest. I'm so excited for this season because I grew up with the NFL fearing us. We were the team that had the best overall record in the previous 30 years. Gatling gun, yes, man. Yes, man. We need to get back to that, man. Look, this is the thing for me, right? And I'm going to say this, and we're going to get back to the show. The one thing that I refuse to do going forward, as a fan, pundit, or otherwise, is rest on the laurels of what happened 30 some odd years ago. I can't do anything with that. I can't do nothing with that. The fans out in Las Vegas can't do nothing with what happened. Is it great to look back to our past and feel proud of it and be proud of it? Yes, but I can't do anything with that. And neither can we. I'm looking to the future, man. I'm looking to the future. I can't look back in the day. The only thing that I can do is I can look at Al Davis and look at him as one of the 2 or 3 most significant figures in the history of the sport of football and be proud that he was the owner of this team and the legacy he left behind. I can be proud of the players who played for the Raiders. The Howie Longs of the world, the Lyle Alzeidos of the world, the Marcus Allens, the Bo Jacksons, the Lester Hayes of the world, the Charles Woodsons of the world. It's just weird to me that Wood is no longer in the league no more. It's crazy to me because me and Charles Woodson are like the same age. We're around the same age pretty much. And it's like, I can't believe that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it bugs me out that he's like a legend now. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to C. Wood, man. But yeah, man, but we can't rest on those laurels. We need to look to the future, man. And I love the excitement in the air that we have isn't some false bravado. It's real. It's real, man. It's not false bravado. This team is built to go out there and win on the road because what travels? A great offensive line, a physical football team, defensive running game travels. It travels. Those are the kind of things and those are the staples in football that help you win games that you probably shouldn't, yo. My guy Hug D's. Y'all see JBJ, Yeet that Raiders coach? Yeah, man. The boys of the field were like, whoa, yes, yes. You know what's funny, man? The thing that I love about JPJ is, man, I could tell he's nasty, man. You could tell he's a nasty player, bro. I love it. When they compare him to Richie Incognito, they never lie. And the messed up thing is that we got Richie Incognito at the end of his career, right? And he played well for us, but we didn't get the Richie Incognito that played for the Rams and that played for the Dolphins. We didn't get that guy. But it makes me feel good that we drafted a guy that can get to that level. And the great thing about JPJ is that he's a guy who is a center by trade. One of the hardest positions in football to find is a blue chip center. And the Raiders have always been an organization where we've had probably out of the 10 best safeties ever in this league, we've probably had 2 or 3 of them play for us, right? So you had a time with the Raiders where you had Jim Otto to Dave Dalby to Don Mosbar, right? So I'm expecting we've had Rodney Hudson here, even though he was drafted to the Chiefs. Rodney Hudson's a guy. Barrett Robbins was a great center, to be honest with you. It feels good to know that you have this kid here because I think the plan for JPJ is for him to play left guard this year. And then, even though we signed Andre James, if Andre James doesn't pass the smell test, we have a guy that has the ability to be an all-pro at that position. Right here, we could just move him right over. And the great thing is that we went out here. You have a Thayer Mumford, and that's another thing that I'm going to get into. I'm glad that Antonio Pierce mentioned today that Thayer Mumford is our right tackle, and he earned it. I've been saying it all offseason. I am so glad. So we have guys that are in their first 3 years in the league out here cooking, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me read some of these, man. I thought it was so dope that AP said, I only talk Raiders. They need to just keep their mouths shut, fly under the radar, and show all the haters was really up. And that's what I'm looking for, man. All the false bravado and nonsense, man. I want results, bro. I want results. I want to hear positive games out of camp. I don't want to hear any speculation. I don't want to hear any nonsense, any phantom trades, none of that. I just want results, man. My guy, Ronnie Granite, take the Chiefs down and beat a team to beat the team that nobody wants to play because we are relentless savages that hit so hard and so often that the opposing team will lose their will to win. Oh, I got the chills from reading that, Ronnie. Shout out to you, man. We got almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted, man. JPJ seems humble. Chris Raiders, yes. I think he's humble and he's in awe of the bro, can you imagine how much it means to this kid to be a Raider? It's a kid who grew up in the area, grew up idolizing and loving this organization and this team. And actually go like when he saw himself get into the National Football League as a kid, probably saw himself being a Raider. And his dream came true. His dream came true. And I hope that this kid gets a chance to make some more of his dreams come true by going to a Super Bowl. Telling you right now, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. We got a new member to the Wasted Talent Army, man. Shout out to my guy, CJ Raider. Became a YouTube member. Shout out to you, man. So excited for the preseason. My guy, Nate Dog. You're wasted. I went to high school with Brock and played 1 year football with him. We are so lucky to have a guy with his mindset and work ethic on our team, man. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that behind the curtains kind of look at things, man. And I kind of want to start getting into talking about this draft class, man, with somebody who has the gravitas. He has the background to talk about these guys. This is a man that needs no introduction. The great and powerful Broshmo. If you didn't know.
It's me.
What's up, brother?
Yo, man, just chilling, just chilling. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing excellent, man. It's so good to see you, man. This is the time of year that we normally, we link up, man, because you're a guy who I've always valued your opinion about players, your scouting prowess, uh, everything. You know what I mean? I've always loved what you did, man, and I really wanted to pick your brain about 2024 draft. I know it was about roughly like 13, 14 days ago. Um, but I haven't got your piece about how you think the Raiders have done. We got a few UDFAs I want to get your thoughts on. I want to start really though with our first round, second round, all of our picks. So let me get into this, man. The Brock Bowers pick was one that a lot of people loved, but it just kind of seemed to me that when the Raiders took him, everybody went nuts, and I understand. Michael Mayer troll. People think we need a quarterback. What do you think about the Brock Bowers pick, man, to the Raiders, man? How do you grade that pick? How do you feel about it, brother?
I mean, I never hate going best player available. Honestly, I think that's like the best route, the best way to go. Just keep adding talent, That's what the draft is. It's not free agency 2.0. It's let's increase our ceiling when it comes to how talented our roster is. And I love the Brock Bowers pick because okay, cool, you got Michael Mayer. You don't got Hunter Renfrow anymore. America, you could kick him in the slot. You're going to have probably a lot of 12 personnel. That's probably what y'all want to do offensively. It's a little weird. It's going to be interesting how it's going to work out with Luke Getsy and whatnot. But I'm cool with that. I love Mayer adding another weapon to, whoever's playing quarterback there. Man, I loved it. It was a great pick.
All right. I mean, a lot of people are calling Brock Bowers Hunter on steroids. I mean, that's what people say. But and it's crazy because like as my man Dan High State Teaser said Atlanta kind of rerouted us to pick like that. Because look, the way I view it is if Michael Penix Jr. was on the board, the Raiders would have taken him. I didn't think that they were going to go above and beyond and move up to take him, but if he was available, the Raiders would have, right? Champ Kelly was a big proponent of Michael Penix Jr. I was a big proponent of Michael Penix Jr. I love Michael Penix Jr. You know what I mean? I really would have liked that we wound up with him. But the fact that we didn't, to me, if the consolation prize is a guy that is going to perennially be a Pro Bowler and probably be a top, 5 player at his position for years to come, then you knock that pick out of the park. And the Raiders need that kind of we need that kind of energy going forward. We need to kind of erase that stigma of being bad drafters, so to speak. Yeah. We need to wash that away, man. So I'm gonna move on to the next pick. Jackson Powers Johnson, man. JPJ, the great and powerful. Best center to me in college, man. Like, what do you think about that one, brother?
That was my pick, dude. I love Jackson Powers Johnson. I thought he was a first rounder. Probably like the best tight end since like Tyler Linderbaum. Like I didn't really like feel that way about a center. Did I say tight end center?
Yeah, yeah. So it's okay. It's okay, Broshmo. It is all right.
It's long, man. It's a long draft process, but yeah, I hadn't felt that way about a center. Like I'm typically not like I don't like guards, centers in the first round. I feel like they're less valuable positions to the offense. But if you could get that guy that can be, like you said, like a top 5 at his position, then shoot, swing for the fences, man. Go for it. And to get that value in the second round, I thought was extraordinary. I mean, obviously, I think he's probably going to be playing guard for y'all, which works. He played guard the year before there at Oregon. But man, any doubters to like Zamir White, like get about it, man. Behind that offensive line now. Feeling nice,
bro. So you were a Zamir White guy.
I kind of like I didn't like people that had him in day 2. I liked him better in that 4th, 5th round value. I didn't think he was that dynamic. I thought he was like, okay, he can eat contact and he can run fast, but he's not gonna like make you miss or anything. He might like brush off a few tackles, but yeah, I didn't feel like the day 2 hype on him.
Okay. All right. So look, I'm gonna move on.
I did like him. I just didn't like him as much as some other people did.
Okay. So we're gonna move on, right? Because I don't want to take up too much of your time with the draft. Because
Oh,
we
you're
beat this thing to death. These guys are in mini camp now. So the other things to talk about, right? But this is just for my curiosity, guys. You got to understand. Look, this is a guy whose opinion I respect. This is for my curiosity, not just the chat. We got almost 400 of them going to get wasted with your brother wasted, right? Delmar Glaze, man. Now I know this was the first supposed reach to the draft. The Glazinator himself. Where did you? I didn't see your
nickname.
breakdown of him, man. What did you think about that pick, man?
I mean, I thought it was a reach, but considering like what kind of transpired, like you saw that like run of tackles
Yeah,
going on. So I get why they went that way. I would have liked that better in like the 4th, 5th round. But again, running tackles, how long is that guy gonna stay on the board? So I get why they went with the option. I just don't think he's like a start now type of player. And I mean, I
yeah,
thought he might end up being a projecting to guard in the
yeah. I do
NFL.
too. I do too. I feel like right now, Dylan Parham is effectively. They're going to move him to right guard. He's effectively on. No, he's got to earn his spot on this team going forward. And if he has a couple of hiccups because now he's a veteran now, right? They've taken the training wheels off. They've taken him from between Colton Miller and Andre James. They put the rookie there because you want to surround him with a veteran presence, and they put him over there with Thayer Mumford. He's gotta hold his own, and if he doesn't, they have a couple of guys who can step right in for him this year, and they got a guy that they can develop and step in for him next year in Delmar Glaze.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious. Is he going to end up be like playing that guard, or is he going to end up play someone to push Mumford? Because I thought Mumford's fine. Like if he's the weakest guy on your line, then you probably feel like your offensive line's at least in good enough shape.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious where he's going to end up playing.
Well, my guy Pigs 76 says he projects to be an elite guard. Now there were some things that I saw from his Senior Bowl, right? His Senior Bowl. There's some people that say he had a terrific Senior Bowl. There are others like my brother East Coast Gridiron. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron. I don't know if you follow him. You guys should link up. Great guy, right? Great content. He is a guy who speaks the language such as yourself. But he said that Glaze was getting worked at Senior Bowl practice. He was actually there. I saw it differently. I wasn't there like him, so I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't really take that opinion. From what I saw from the kid, he looks strong. He looks agile. He looks like he'd be a damn good guard. That's how he looks to me, man. I don't know about you. Did you scout him?
Yeah, no, I did. He was I actually had him among my tackles, but I thought he would end up moving to guard. I mean, I got a couple of like notes from the Senior Bowl about him. Like he didn't have too many bad losses, but his first loss did come, or he gave Miles Cole, who's Miles Cole, kind of like this, like 6', 270, 6'6", 270, kind of a genetic freak, but just doesn't know how to play like football or play the position quite yet. Ended up being his first win. This was a guy that was just having trouble, at least on that first day of like just getting a win, because then you're dealing with honestly like the trenches at the Senior Bowl was kind of
This year, has this been the best year since you've been doing this that you've seen? As far as
I think the offensive line talent was really good this year. Really good. Like the defensive line, like it had its guys, but I don't think it was nearly as deep. Same with edge. It had its guys, but I don't think it was nearly as deep. And I mean, the Senior Bowl was able to pull some like big hitters too. Getting like Sweat and Liatu Latu came on through there. Darius Robinson, who ended up being a first rounder. So it's not like most years where like we're typically talking about like late day 2, day 3 guys. Like they were able to pull some high end talent. Like Liatu Latu, first defensive player off the board. Ended up going there. So like it was hella fun. The trenches it was a good battle, and I thought Glaze like held his own well enough. Yeah, again didn't have terrible losses, but again, kind of like you said, projects better at tackle or at guard. Excuse me. But good athlete, good length. I see why you might want to keep him at tackle, but I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see. So, all right, our fourth pick, Cameron Richardson, man, out of Mississippi State. He is a genetic freak, big,
Yes.
long, rangy corner, man. I saw your breakdown on him. Could you please let my audience know how you feel about that pick to the Raiders and how he fits into to what we got going on as far as our secondary?
I love that pick. Like you said, kind of a built well. He's like 6'2", 190, get him bigger, really good athlete. And he's battle tested. He's out there playing against the SEC. I think he's been a star for the last 2 to 3 years there at Mississippi State. And he brings decent length, and the dude's a competitor, man. Straight up a competitor. So I'm pretty intrigued to see how Graham will use him. But like, y'all needed size, man. Y'all needed size at that corner position.
And that's what she said, Broshmo. Bang zoom, bang zoom, Broshmo, bang zoom. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You were cooking it. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a great pick. At the end of the day, it was great. It was a phenomenal pick. I felt like that's when like the draft got back on track after the Glaze pick again. Understandable, still kind of a reach, but like that I think got the draft right back on track for y'all because as we'll go over, y'all did pretty well.
Yeah, man. The draft. Yeah, man. I mean, look, do you think that we're great in this draft on a curve because it's the Raiders and we haven't drafted well lately, or do you think this was a pretty damn good draft?
I mean, I said this on Twitter X, whatever the hell we call it now, that this was a draft class that was hard to get wrong. Like, if you were a team, you had to go out of your way to really kind of like think this draft. And I thought the Raiders just went in, did their business, did well. They were like, okay, who's the top guy on our board? We're taking that guy. And they were still able to hit positions of need, so to speak, while doing that.
So I love it, man. I love it. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, listen, this is our man, Broshmo. If you didn't know so, one of the greats on Raider YouTube, man. This guy, not Raider YouTube, but just YouTube, period. This man is a scout. He breaks down film, man. Mock draft. I mean, just a wealth of football knowledge. If you have not subscribed to Broshmo, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. Get with it or get lost. Yo,
love the plug.
That's right, man. So 5th round, Tommy Eichenberg, man, from Ohio State, one of my favorite linebackers in this damn draft, man. What did you think about that one, my brother?
I mean, if he came out in 2023, he would have been a day 2 pick. I think he was just coming off of a down year, at least by comparison to his 2022 season. He's solid athlete and just like typical mean, beat the hell out of you type of linebacker. Like, not going to be like crazy in coverage, but he's going to be like a minimal gain guy, which, I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you get a linebacker like that, then shoot, you're in like the top 30% or 70% of the position, because getting like coverage is such a hard thing to get when it comes to linebackers in today's day and age. Cause like you get these top 12, even top half of the league quarterbacks, they're going to eat up the middle of the field. They're going to just eat it up. And if you get a guy that's like, hey, listen, you might go underneath, get 4 to 6 yards on me, but that's the only yards you're going to get. I mean, that's a big part of why the NFL this year, we're starting to see a kind of a rebirth of the run game, because it got so good at like defending the pass after being such a pass happy league.
Yeah, man. Listen, football, this is the thing that I think a lot of these pundits don't realize that at the end of the day, and I don't mean to sound cliches, man, but football is always football. The principles of football will always be the paramount of this game. It will always be the basis of this game, right? So, low man wins, controlling the middle of the field, trenches, running the football, field position, down and distance. All those things matter, man. And it just seems like over the last few years, the media will have you thinking that it doesn't matter anymore. You throw the ball around. You don't need a running back. You don't need linebackers. You don't need, and that's bull. That's bull, man. You look at the teams that win in the playoffs. Those are teams that have the ability to mix it up and play whatever style of football you want. The Chiefs are like that. You know, the Chiefs, look, if it's time to get down and dirty and they need to run the ball down your throat with Isaiah Pacheco, they will. If Patrick Mahomes needs to put up 5, 6, 7 touchdowns, he will. Whichever way you serve it up, they're going to give it to you. They got a great stout defense. You know, and that's the thing about what people don't really look at. You have certain teams, such as your Miami Dolphins, no disrespect to your Dolphins, but the Dolphins are a track team. And when they got in the cold, man, it looked like they got broken by that cold. You know, they can't mix it up like that. You know, they have to hope and pray that they get home field advantage for them to win, or they're playing a team that's playing inside.
Yeah, I mean, even when it became a pass happy league, a lot of teams were just kind of supplementing the run game with like RPOs.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like just getting the ball into your playmakers' hands and letting them make or force missed tackles and whatnot. So, I mean, essentially very similar. I mean, you're still making plays around the line of scrimmage, just kind of away from the ball or away from snap.
Yeah, man. I mean, so look, man, we're gonna transition because you know I don't want to stay on this too long. The draft was a while ago. It's just that it's great hearing your opinion, right? Dylan Lubay, New Hampshire. To me, he was a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. You know, this guy, Christian McCaffrey. You know, I love the pick, and the more and more I watch of this kid, man, I think he's going to pay dividends year one with the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, what you're receiving, like your pass catchers out of the backfield was like what Amir Abdullah, and that was about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, thank you, Gojo, for your input. But I feel like with him, I don't really see him as a running back. He just doesn't have that like vision and whatnot. Like where he was like the most lethal at New Hampshire was in the passing game, coming out of the backfield. I mean, this dude was running routes like he was a receiver.
Yeah, they had him lining up in the slot and everything like that.
Exactly. And he even brings that return aspect. So it's like, I mean, that's what you're getting. You're getting a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. And that's, again, something that we're kind of missing in that core. I mean, guys like Zamir White, Alexander Madison, those guys aren't going to be that dynamic of pass catchers when it comes to the run game or to the passing game.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me read some of these comments. Death Pile Picker, you are about to be unceremoniously blocked. The F is wrong with you. He goes, here's a question, Broshmo. Is he going to share a bowl of bootios with Wasted? You are about to be, the F is wrong with you.
Hey, man.
What is going on here?
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
Sit down. You eating no bootios in here. The F is wrong with you.
They help you not be booty, man.
Nah, shout out to Death Pile Picker, man. Yo, my guy Ken is in the place. He goes, yo, Broshmo. Ronnie Granite. I disagree. Dylan Lubay can get around the corner. He isn't afraid of contact.
Okay, he ain't going to do it up the middle. He can get around that corner. Cool.
Yeah,
that works well for Getsy if he's going to keep with his like wide zone blocking scheme.
Yeah, man. And listen, bro, if you're looking for Dylan Lubay to be, you know, year one, Peyton Hillis, you are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. You were shocked and dismayed, and you were overdosing on hopium. The man is a receiving threat. He's a guy that's probably gonna be returning kicks. It is what it is. I wholeheartedly agree with my brother Broshmo. And listen, the last pick, and I think the sneakiest move I think we made. Trey Taylor out of Air Force, man. The cousin of Ed Reed. I mean, we sure know how to pick the cousins of some great safeties, man. We got Isaiah Palmau. We got Trey Taylor. I mean, goddamn. I mean, we're going to go get Ronnie Lott's grandson or some shit next? Like, what is going on here, yo?
Is he out there?
Yeah, I know, right? And he's out there bringing the Raiders are bringing him on in. So what do you think about that pick, man? I think this is the guy that we're going to look back on this draft in about 5 years, and I think people are going to laud this pick. I think he is going to mature into being a starter. I really believe that. And that's not just being hopeful. That is just watching the film on this kid. This kid has it all the way around, man. I mean, what say you, my brother?
Yeah, he's a really good athlete. Just won the or last year won the Thorpe Award for like best defensive back in the college football. Good athlete. I feel like he could probably play anywhere. Like he's just that type of athlete. He's not afraid to come up and defend the run, but he also can be that center fielder. So like you can line him in the slot, outside. I feel like you kind of get this chess piece that now you're gonna have the next couple of years figure out, okay, where are you gonna play on our defense specifically? What will be your best position? Ultimately, I think he ends up probably being a really good slot player, just because when you get a good player around the line of scrimmage, I mean, that's typically where you want to throw him in. I mean,
Yeah.
the slot corner position is kind of underrated. I mean, Nate Hobbs, he's good outside, he's good inside. Kind of
Yeah.
works.
See, the thing with Taylor is, man, when I see this kid tackles like a wheel linebacker. He's the kind of kid that, this kid comes downfield like a rocket. But the difference between him and safeties that are of that ilk is the fact that he can get his hips around, and he can cover downfield. I've seen that. Right now,
He's good.
yeah, and he's good. So to me, then that makes you a starter, bro. That makes you a starter because you play both styles. You could play that strong safety and man that position and be good. He's going to be able to be out there in the field. He's a guy that you're not going to have to take off the field a lot. This was a terrific pick. We have one more pick because we had 2 7th rounders. MJ Devonshire out of Pittsburgh. You know, to be honest with you,
This cat.
what happened?
Oh, I just said I love that. I love this cat.
You do. So
do.
tell me why, man, because I'm not really hopeful on him, man.
Man, dude's fast. He's got length. I remember he first got on my radar in not this past season, but the year before in the season opener against West Virginia. He had the pick 6 to seal the game, and
Okay.
he's got really good return skills. Wasn't really used a ton in that aspect at Pittsburgh, but back in high school, I think he had like 8 punt returns and kick returns. So he's got that element of like he could stick on the roster at least as a potential returner and special teamer, but also plays bigger than his size, or plays bigger than his frame because he does look a little thin, but not afraid to mix it up. And again, that insane length allows him just to challenge the catch point. I was shocked that he actually came in as fast as he did. Like I knew he was fast. I didn't think he was like, what did he end up going like? Okay, I thought he was gonna be a like 4.5. He ends up going 4.45. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, there we go. Let's go. Because I mean, you're not going to survive in the NFL if you're a corner playing on the outside and you're like a 4.55 guy or 4.6 guy.
Not at all.
That's rare.
Nah, you're gonna get smoked like that. That's just the long and the short of it, man. You have to have a certain level of speed to play in today's NFL. Today's NFL, man, is a league where, look, man, the prerequisite skill set is 4.4. You know, like in the 80s, it was a little different. You had guys running, 4.8s, 4.89s, and 4.7s and 4.6s playing cornerback. The days are over in the National Football League, my brother. They're definitely. The thing about it is, people say that he's going to return kicks. I didn't, I was looking up and down for an explosive kick return from him. I mean, was he a good returner at Pittsburgh?
It was mainly at high school. He only had 1 year where he was the primary return man for Pittsburgh. But back in high school, he had like, I think here, I got it written down here. He had 8 punt returns for touchdowns and 5 were actually called back as well back in high school. So like he was a dominant return man back in high school, but he only had 1 year where he was a return man for Pittsburgh because he ended up being a starter actually relatively quickly. I think it was like 2022. He was became their starter, but he was like one of their key backups the year prior. So just didn't get a crack at it. If you're going to be on the field offensively or defensively, typically they're not going to put you there to return unless you're like phenomenal. But
I can't see it, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't see him being the returner at the next level. That's just me, So I think
I'm just saying there's a way he could stick on the roster. Special teams.
Yo, I mean, bro, look, man. To me, that was our worst pick so far. Now, none of them got on the field, so I'm not gonna go out there and just poo-poo the pick. But I'm talking about from the outside looking in today. To me, that was my least favorite pick. Now we got a bunch of UDFAs, and I'm not gonna go through every single one of them. are you familiar with some of the guys that we got in as UDFAs? I mean, one of that I was familiar with was Jaquan Shepard out of Maryland, cornerback. Yeah. He's a guy who played with our corner that we drafted last year. You know what I'm saying? And look, man, this is a kid that I think has a real chance of making his roster. I really do, even over our 7th round. Like he's a guy that I watch him. Jake Johanning is another guy too that I think the Raiders, might keep on his roster. I like Jake Johanning a lot. I think the Raiders kind of covered their bases well, man. Andrew Coker too, man. But yeah. Jacorian Bennett and Jaquan Shepard's kind of playing in college together. I know that has nothing to do with nothing, but I think there's a reason the Raiders brought him in. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I mean, he brings good size. I didn't watch too much of him.
That's what Sheet said also, Bang Zoom. He brings good size. I'm holding and release Broshmo. I'm holding.
So I know he's got inside and outside versatility. I thought he was the better corner of that bunch there at Maryland. They had another guy, I think it was taken by the Chargers, and Still or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, he brings good size. It's about all I could really tell you.
Look, he said it again. The size, it's broad. Thank you. Thank you.
Size matters.
So now, Broshmo, we're gonna get off of the draft class, man. So let me ask you a question, man. Out of all of the teams in the National Football League, we're gonna take this away from the Raider perspective, man. Who are your top 4 draft classes out of everyone in the league from your perspective?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna throw away the Bears. I think that was a hard draft class to mess up.
Yeah.
So not gonna include them. I think the Ravens did really well. They didn't reach for need when they wanted to. Like in the first round, when none of the tackles made it to them, they were like, okay, let's just take the best player on the board. Took Wiggins. Thought that was solid. And outside that, I thought they did a good job of grabbing players that were falling, especially at positions of need. Guys like DJ Tampa, Devontae Walker. They even ended up taking like a Devin Leary, who kind of wildly different than the quarterback they currently have. I thought they had a really good draft. I thought I saw a lot of hate for the Cowboys draft, and I really liked it. Like they may have had one pick that I just didn't like in Maris Luafau, just because I thought it was a little early for him. But I get people like length, people like explosiveness. There we go.
Bang zoom, Broshmo. You understood the assignment. I appreciate this. Listen, Broshmo just flew in from Arizona and his arms are tired. Thank you.
But yeah, no, they addressed the trenches with players I liked. Got them at good ranges. I thought they did really well. The Colts, for the early part of their draft, being able to get the defender of their choice and then nailing Adonai Mitchell there at pick 52. That was really good. Tanner Bortolini as a future replacement for Ryan Kelly. I thought was a good call too by them. So I liked their draft. I wish I could say the Dolphins, but I had a lot I disagreed with them.
Whoa! So why don't you warm it up there, Broshmo? What did you disagree with?
So I get the Chop Robinson pick. I get it. I don't like the range. That's probably about the range he would have went in. But like low key, I get we're hurt, we're banged up, we're beat up at edge, but like our offensive line is honestly a hot mess. Like Armstead's got one more year in him. We're currently reeling at guard terribly after Robert Hunt. I mean, and even the defensive interior. Like, shoot, you're welcome, by the way, Christian Wilkins.
Oh, yes. Listen, I would like to thank you personally, man. Listen, Raider Nation, everybody, do me a favor in the chat. All 400 in Uniroom. I want you guys to say thank you to Broshmo for his Dolphins lending us Christian Wilkins. I know the man is sick to his stomach, man. I know you were pissed when that happened, bro. Yeah, I know you had to be, man.
Well, I mean, I knew we could afford him, so it was kind of inevitable.
Bro, this is the thing for me, though. You have to make room for guys like that, bro. You don't let star guys like that just walk out of the freaking building, bro. And then, you go out and spend big money on more offensive pieces. When I look at the Dolphins, they look like an explosive team, but I don't worry about the Dolphins because they're not a balanced football.
I mean, legitimately, the trenches, that's probably where we're going to lose. Like the interior of the trenches in particular. Like they went out, got a project tackle. Cool. That's great. But would have been nice if we dipped into this guard and center class, because like having to replace Robert Hunt's kind of a big thing. I don't even think we went with the defensive interior player. And then we trade next year's 3rd round pick to get a running back in the 4th. Like, I love Jalen Wright. I like that. It's good value. But you threw away a 3rd next year for that? And then we got 2 slot receivers? What are we doing?
Man, I don't know what the F they're doing. I don't know. See, that's the problem when you give a guy who is an offensive guru. Like, I'm kind of over offensive gurus, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm be honest with you. We had our offensive. We've had a couple of offensive quote unquote gurus here, and they get tunnel vision. It seems like almost all of these are one of the only coaches who has never been that way is Andy Reid, and he is an actual offensive genius. He's never been that way. He's never gotten tunnel vision. He understands the importance. Maybe because he's a big guy. Maybe because he's a hog molly. He understands. But these offensive coaches, they have a sight blindness with building a balanced football team. It's really, really like bizarre, man.
Yeah. If I go back to it, if I'm gonna wrap it up, I'll probably wrap it up with like the Eagles and the Steelers. I thought did good jobs. Like the Eagles always do a good job of just kind of like acquiring draft capital for next year to use in trades, but they also got value when it was there for them. Like Cooper DeJean there at pick was like 40. Yeah, pick 40. I liked Johnny Wilson there at pick 180, 185 was kind of nuts, but I thought the Steelers did a good job. They addressed the trenches. They grabbed value at linebacker with Peyton Wilson, who I liked. I get the injury red flags, is what it is, but at like late in the 3rd round, take a shot on a guy like that. And then Roman Wilson's a nice addition too. So I thought the Steelers did another good job. Also, they took one of my favorite guys in the draft. I loved Mason McCormick at South Dakota State. He was kind of my guy. I had him as a top 40. I knew he wasn't going to go there, but it was good to see him go early off the board in, I think that was like round 4. So like, yeah, Steelers crushed it 2nd year in a row. Still can't get the quarterback position right though.
So you didn't like the Russell Wilson pickup?
I thought it was fine. I mean, like with Field, like it's so weird because they get Fields, and it's essentially a 1-year rental. Because like, how are you going to decide to pay the guy if Russell Wilson's going to be the starter there?
Yo, it's real quickly, man. Shout out to my brother East Coast Gridiron. East Coast Gridiron, enjoy your dinner with your lady, man. You and the great and powerful Broshmo need to link up, man. You guys definitely do. I'm telling you right now, that would be some great content for the nation and for football fans all over the place. He is not a Raider fan. East Coast Gridiron actually is a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but
in Miami.
Yeah, but he's a guy. He's a guy that covers the entire league. So I would love to see you guys link up, man. But yo, what you're saying is very, very valid. So let me ask you a question. So you're giving those your best grades, right? Where do you grade the Raiders draft? From
It wasn't far behind. I think I gave it an A at the end of the day. Let me go look real quick. Yeah, I gave it an A because I feel like outside of Glaze, which I mean that was an understandable. Like you just saw this run on tackles. I assume they're grabbing him to be a tackle because you got Jackson Powers Johnson probably come in there and play guard. So I don't know why you would double dip on guard then. So like it was understandable, but after that, it was like every pick was either within that projection or it was just like grabbing value as players fell. Like they did a phenomenal job, I thought.
Yeah, that's a fact. They sure did. Yo, shout out to my guy Frank Polari from all the way over in Italy. Ciao Bella, my guy. Hug these. He's a Jags fan. Jags, Buccaneers, Dolphins, same thing. The F out of here.
They ain't doing nothing. None of those teams are doing anything in the playoffs. So
yeah. They just the Jags, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're the same damn thing. The F out of here, man. Yo, Jenny Castillo says, you better give us an A, Broshmo. Yes, the nation is in full effect. So Broshmo, I sit here and, I am very excited about our draft, and I don't want to, nobody's played a minute of football, and I don't want to get into, next year's draft. To me, that's in bad faith. But let me ask you a question, man. Who are the guys that you're looking forward to seeing next year, and the guys that you think are going to be the 4 best quarterbacks coming out next year? Because I got like Drew Allaire. Jackson Dart is a guy that I like, but I'm a little something about him that I don't.
I want to love him so much. Like
It's something wrong there, though.
It feels that way, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
But Drew Allaire looks like the guy to me. He looks like the guy to me, man.
Yeah, he's a unit, man.
Shout out to my brother Intel with the bang. Yo, shout out with my guy, man. Intel, man. Where you been, brother? Love you, brother. Appreciate you for supporting the channel, bro. Appreciate you for supporting the channel with the $100 holla. Shout out to my brother Intel Official, bro.
Should we call it a night now?
Nah, bro. It's not even that, man. Listen, we are on here, man. We are cooking, man. We are rocking and rolling, man. My guy Intel in the place, man. Shout out to my brother Intel, man. So when you look back on this year, man, and you see all these A's, all these great draft class, right? Who is your favorite value pick of this entire draft? And who is your you know what? Let's keep it in a Raider perspective, right? Because I don't want to shoot all over the place, bro. Because I know, I don't have you for too long. Who is your favorite value pick for the Raiders?
Oh, Jackson Powers Johnson, I think by a mile. I think he's going to come in and be a phenomenal piece on that offensive line. And shoot, man. I mean, with the flexibility to go and like be able to play center if like Andre James goes down, I think that's huge. I think that's probably a guy that they were or the type of guy they were hoping to get when they grabbed like Dylan Parham.
Yeah.
Who was like, hey, we get this nice versatile piece if pieces like go down. And I think that was part of the problem with Parham in his first year there. He was bouncing between the right and left side.
Yeah, man. See, the thing with Parham too, man, is Parham, they had him playing power, and he's an undersized guy. He was a guy that they thought they were going to transition in the center, right? Now he's had time to beef up. He's had time to kind of, get used to the NFL game, so to speak, right? And I think Dylan Parham, he's not my favorite guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, a lot of people love Dylan Parham. Pro Football Focus loves Dylan Parham. But with the naked eye, me watching Dylan Parham, I see Dylan Parham getting put into the lap of his quarterback a lot. Him and Andre James. These are guys that Pro Football Focus have ranked very, very highly, but I don't, right? And I'm looking for a level of physicality because we are the Raiders, right? I'm looking for a level of dominance. I don't want my offensive linemen kind of, bending and not breaking. I want them dominating at times, and I don't see enough of that from Dylan Parham.
Yeah, I mean, Parham entered the league like he was sub 300 coming out of Memphis there. So he was already working, like trying to get up weight and whatnot, get up play strength. So like I expected him to go to like one of these wide zone schemes, which again, I'm so fascinated to see what Luke Getsy's offense is going to look like for the Raiders. Like if it's anything like he's done in the past, again, wide zone, outside zone, that should be up Parham's alley. But I mean, man, then you go get Jackson Powers Johnson. It's like, man, you want to take advantage of that, some of that power and like man concepts, right?
Yeah. I'm sure with Luke Getsy, man. Now, see, it's the thing with Luke Getsy that puzzles me. People, a lot of people didn't like the Luke Getsy pick, and I think it was because of the way it transpired. Cliff Kingsbury was supposed to be the offensive coordinator, and in his infinite wisdom, he decided this job wasn't for him, and he walked out of the door. And then it's kind of like we got the bridesmaid and not the bride, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm really looking at it, man, this guy's a guy who had an integral part in developing Devontae Adams in Green Bay. He is a guy who helped develop Jordan Love. He's a guy who did wonders when he had a quarterback who can deliver the football in timing that's accurate. And I think he made chicken salad out of chicken shit with Justin Fields. I really do. I truly believe that the kind of offensive mind Luke Getsy is, he doesn't necessarily need a superstar quarterback to make his offense look credible in the National Football League. I think that, Aidan O'Connell being the kind of, passer that he is, and even Gardner Minshew being the kind of passer that he is going to be what kind of propels his offense forward. He has guys that can go out there and go on the field and let his offense take shape the way he saw fit. When he had Justin Fields last year, Justin Fields doesn't have the skill set to do that.
No.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think, brother?
I don't disagree. Yeah, if you look at Washington, right? It seemed like, Dan Quinn was their second option after Ben Johnson was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay an OC. But Dan Quinn, very proven, very good coach, very good defensive mind there in the NFL. So it's like, okay, that's not that big of a loss. That's honestly not. Most of us thought he was going to be the next guy after McCarthy.
Seattle after Pete Carroll. I thought 100% he was going to go back out there and go, reignite the Legion of Boom. But see the difference between the Dan Quinn hire and the Luke Getsy hire is two things. Wasn't like they hired a head coach and the head coach decided that he didn't want the job. They actually gave that job to someone else. And that's why it feels a little icky. Did I just say icky? What the F is wrong with me? Just icky. What is wrong? What am I, 5 years old? But that's just the thing, though. I mean, and I think that's what it is. So there are a lot of people who aren't really psyched about Luke Getsy. There are a lot of people who didn't look beyond his tenure in Chicago. And I understand that, but I have faith in what Luke Getsy, and this is not hopium. This is so much. I'm basing my opinions on Luke Getsy is, from his resume in Green Bay, how Devontae Adams looks at him, and some of the things that he put on the field and on tape out there in Green Bay with the way that offense was running when he was there.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like Cliff Kingsbury is more proven than Getsy. Let's not act like I'm not gonna act like Arizona's offense was phenomenal under Kingsbury. It was good, but it was always I think he only had one top 10.
It was that year they were 11-5 or something. They were 11-5, and
they started the year 6-0 or 7-0.
Yeah, 6-7-0 or something like that. Yeah, that was when he first got there. But see, the funny thing with air raid offenses, it's all good until you figure it out. It's all good until you figure it out, right? It kind of seems that way to me. He brought a lot of air raid concepts to the National Football League, and then they got some tape on him and Kyler Murray, and the National Football League effectively went like this. And they kept squeezing, and he wasn't ever able to recover.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, hey, let's not act like Cliff Kingsbury was the clear better option. I don't think that's necessarily the case. And like you said, Getsy, you got to look past his tenure there in Chicago because, well, it wasn't necessarily the most fair.
Nah, it wasn't at all, man. And look, Justin Fields is the kind of player that you have to tailor your offense around Justin Fields. You can't take Justin Fields and put his talent in. You have to do kind of what Carolina did with Cam Newton. That's what you got to do. You have to build everything and have everything predicated around his skill set. And let me make no mistake about that. Cam Newton is an infinitely better thrower of the football than Justin Fields. My guy DeMokes, AOC MVP incoming. Wow, DeMokes is selling. He's buying high on Aidan O'Connell. What are your thoughts? On the way out, man. What are your thoughts on Aidan O'Connell, man? Have you seen much of him? Yeah, I know at Purdue you did. What do you think about him?
I think he's got. I always thought he was going to be a high-end backup, when he was coming out of Purdue there, because the dude's got a great moxie about him. His whole story of how he was a walk-on at Purdue and just kind of grinded, eventually became the starter, having to prove himself multiple times, dealing with some health issues while he was there. He's got a great story and he's got that grit, but he's also doesn't have a bad arm at all. He can sling it. It's not an elite arm or anything, but
he has a high end arm though. He doesn't have a hose.
He doesn't have. It's not Gardner Minshew hose. It's not a noodle.
Yeah, but he definitely has an upper echelon arm. I would say. I'm not going to sit up here and act like he's, throwing the ball around like Josh Allen, right? We're not gonna say that, but he definitely doesn't have any problem getting that football down the field. Let's put it there. So like, if and this is from your opinion, right? If you're making a decision, right, sight unseen, who you starting this year? Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew for the Raiders?
Dude, I'm like the biggest Gardner Minshew fan.
Uncle Rico, baby.
I'm here for Minshew Mania 6.
Wow.
I mean, I think this is the thing, man. I think that you're dealing with not similar like skill sets, but it's very similar where they're gonna fall in the league, like high end backups to like fringe starters when called upon. I mean, these are guys that are essentially going to be bridge options to whoever that final answer will be. I think. I honestly don't think you're losing much with like if one has to ride the pine. I think you're like you might change what you have to do offensively a little bit. Maybe with Minshew, you got to be more calculated with those shots because again, yeah, he's got a bit of a noodle, but he does have that. These are two guys with that gunslinger mentality. Like I might ride with the veteran, especially after he had that what should have been probably a playoff run with the Colts. So they kind of fumbled the bag there at the end, but I think I would go with the experience for now and just get O'Connell just acclimated to the offense. And if he has to step in at any point, or if you're like, hey, Minshew ain't really getting us wins, then he can do that.
Oh man, the Aidan O'Connell slander is blasphemous, Broshmo. It's blasphemous. My guy, G.A. Patriot, Devontae has said he is very excited about Getsy's system. Hearing DA break it down on the rush got me hyped. Shout out to my brother G.A. Patriot, a big supporter of this channel since its inception. Thank you, G.A. Patriot, for the $5 holla. Thank you for the Mokes and everyone else who's contributed to the channel, man. Keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited, man. Listen, Antonio Pierce praises on AOC. Doesn't sound like a backup or a bridge QB to me. Think the kid's gonna be a star. I think you were buying a little high, and I think you need to just kind of keep that tempered optimism. I have a lot of optimism and faith in Aidan O'Connell, but I don't know whether he's going to be a star or not. I think to say that at this juncture is very, very premature. It's very premature, fan or not. We haven't seen enough of Aidan O'Connell to know whether he's going to be a star or not. Like, come on, let's be for real here, man. My guy Demokes, man. I'm about to bring out the Kool-Aid. I don't know what the F that means, Demokes, but shout out to you, man. Shout out to Demokes, man. I don't know what the F you're even talking about right now.
I don't know.
But nah, bro.
I wonder what color Kool-Aid.
Come on, bro. You already know it's got to be the red Kool-Aid, bro. Come on, man. Red, come on, bro. Broshmo, you know better than that. It's red Kool-Aid, man. I mean, what more? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna get the janky orange Kool-Aid? What are you gonna do here, man? We're gonna go get some bogus pink lemonade Kool-Aid? Are we gonna get some nonsensical green Kool-Aid that they came out with? All you '90s babies would just mess the whole Kool-Aid movement up.
See, I was a '90s baby, so I was raised on that. I don't know better.
Yeah, see, I don't know no better, man. You guys were raised on Dunkaroos and fruit by the
Sunny D was great.
Oh man, bruh. Trying to tell you something, man. Listen, I'm look. There's and Dave Chappelle unlocked it. Dave Chappelle talked about the difference between juice and drink. You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna get into that right now. We're not gonna get apple drink is green. Tang.
Water.
Shout out to D182. This is a man who was raised in the 80s. He said Tang. Shout out to this man, yo.
I remember Tang. I may have been the Sunny D guy, but I remember Tang. I remember the little, what was it, Gorilla Orangutan? Had something on there.
I don't know. Was it the Great Ape?
So you don't maybe. Know it was a monkey of some sort.
Yeah, Tang is from the 70s and early 80s, man. Tang, Five Alive, all that stuff. Yo, my guy G.A. Patriot with the $5 holla, man. The AOC Colt 60-minute episode incoming. Yo, shout out to y'all. But yo, listen, guys. Broshmo, real quick, you got any questions that you want to answer for the chat, or you gonna roll up out of here, man? If you guys got any questions, really quickly for Broshmo, you got like 2 more minutes, bro?
I got all the time in the world. I'm good.
My brother, man. Listen, it's a Friday night. Broshmo and I are middle-aged men with families. We don't have shit to do. So shout out to you. So guys, listen, if you got any questions for Broshmo, let him roll on in. Let him roll on in. Come on, let's keep it rolling. Let that man cook. Well, my God, we're going to let this man cook. Oh, Broshmo is here, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend is here. It's Friday, baby. You ain't got shit to do. Wait, they said, did somebody say Tang? Damn, that's right, Super Marcon. And I didn't put Poon in front of it. Broshmo, Minshew or Tua?
Oh, Tua. Don't do me like that, dude.
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua is about to get a big contract, and the Dolphins are about to... Dude, we're about to be what the Vikings have been the last couple of years with Kirk Cousins. We're going to be paying a lot for a quarterback that's kind of like fringe top 12, top 10.
Yeah, Tua turned the ball over. Welcome to the world of the Raiders having Derek Carr be a quarterback. F him.
At least you got off of him.
Yeah, that's right. It took us a decade, though. It took us a effing decade. 9 effing years, man. Yo, my guy, Ty Davis, salute old man wasted. Happy Friday, Raider Nation. Wash your mouth out with soap, Ty Davis. I am not old man wasted. I am the ancient one. Shout out to you. Yo, I got everybody called to attack me a little to turn the ball over. Nah, but you know the thing with Tua, they can't give him that kind of money, man. They can't.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. I've seen this is a tale as old as time when you don't have another option. And
but see, this is the thing. McBurger hit it right on the head, man. Wasn't long ago, Tua was 1 concussion away from the end of his career. What changed?
He played a full season.
Played a full. That's crazy. That's insane, yo. McBurger with the cover of, I think it's Behold the Pale Horse. McBurger, the well-read conspiracy theorist, reading Behold the Pale Horse. Shout out to you. Yo, DeMokes, who y'all want to see week 1 against KC? Well, to me, some people say they want to see the Raiders week 1. I want to see us go into Kansas City and punch them in the mouth.
True.
That's what I want to see. I would love to see us go in there and go put our sandwich on their wives' backs and go and raid the cupboards. The Raiders go in there and kick ass like we did on Christmas. I hope so. I want to spoil their ring ceremonials, effing jerks. They came and won a Super Bowl in our house. I would love to ruin their first night as champions, effing bums. I mean, for you, who would you like to see against Kansas City week 1, though, to be honest with you?
Shoot, man. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch of the Super Bowl. Niners.
Yeah,
I mean, it went to overtime. It was kind of, it was felt like the Niners game to lose. Be a nice little rematch to start the year.
That's crazy, man. Yo, bro, stop talking about league Tua alone, y'all. Don't disrespect my guy, Broshmo. They said, yup, Tua's going to be the only player out there wearing one of those protective padded helmets next year at the game of the Pacific. Y'all think he's going to be out there with the Mega Man helmet on?
Golly, dude.
That's crazy. Tua with the Mega Man helmet on. Leave that man alone, bro.
Oh, man.
Leave that man alone,
Maybe it'll give him superpowers. Maybe he'll be able to throw the ball downfield.
They said put baby gravy on their jersey. Oh, no, you going too far. What the F is going on, Raider Felon? Guy talk about man batter and everything. What the F is going on? This is going dark here, Raider Felon. The F is going on, man. Talk that ish, wasted. Fire. We gotta be the best. We gotta beat the best to be the best. That's right. We went full Nature Boy Ric Flair. I'm for it, man. F the queefs. Somebody said I want to leave a sandwich on Taylor Swift's back. You guys, listen. This is nasty work, guys. Children are watching. Stop it. Stop it. Freaking Raider.
I'm sure there's AI tools out there that can help them out with it.
Oh, yo, did you see that on Twitter? Yo, that was insane, bro. I know that dude, too. And it's funny because he thought, oh, I changed my IP address. Yo, they found that dude in like 25 minutes, bro. That shit was hilarious. He tried to change his Twitter.
VPN ain't gonna help you in that situation.
Nah, bro. Whoever they found where that man was, his everything. They found him, brother. Oh man, yeah, that was nasty work, bro. They found him like that. I was like, you guys with your little VPN network and all that bullshit, man. They don't want to hear that shit, bro. Yo, my guy Black Sunday. The Niners do have a team to beat KC. They had them on the ropes. Was smacking them around and fell apart when Greenlaw got hurt. Greenlaw was punking Kelsey. Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. But guess what? Is Drake Greenlaw going to be back? I don't know if he's going to be back for week 1.
He might be back for a playoff run. I mean, that's like a 9-month like recovery time.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what? It's kind of sped up in the last few years, though. If I'm being honest,
gets that Aaron Rodgers treatment.
I know what the hell did Aaron Rodgers do? He had his knee smoking chronic or something like that. What the F was going on with this guy? This guy's knee got healed fast, man.
Yeah.
Troy Bloom. I want to see us spank KC first game of the season and on Christmas Day. F the Queefs. That's right, damn it. Well, bro, man, listen, man. My guy, Hug D's. Like and subscribe to the show. It's free and splendiferous. Wasted talent. Rate as YouTube. Listen, guys, Broshmo, I appreciate you, man, for all of your time, bro, your knowledge. I'm a huge supporter of what you do. I'm a member of your channel. And I want you to know, man, that you are greatly appreciated. You are down by law over here. And my chat appreciates you as well. And I think it's time for us to pull the train into the train station, Broshmo. It's getting late. You know, I'm an old man. It's 9 o'clock, man. You know, nothing good happens after 9 o'clock. And the Knicks took the lead. I got to go watch my Knicks, man. So, Broshmo, you have a terrific night. Everybody in the chat have a terrific night. This has been a Raider Nation Unlimited special, a very, very special edition of Raider Nation Unlimited. like a very, very special Facts of Life. Broshmo, thank you for pulling up, my brother. You got anything to say on the way out, my guy?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love talking football, and I love just being able to chance to come in here and I guess crap on my quarterback for the next 10 years because the Dolphins are going to be paying them. Damn
it. Listen, shout out to the Get Off My Lawn gang. Shout out to the Mod Father, especially my guy Hug D's, man. We are out of here like yesterday. And hey, Broshmo, listen, it's something that I do on my show every night, man. There's a prophet in American music, and his name is Fat Joe.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Price goes up every time the great Broshmo comes and graces us with his presence. You guys get the F out of here. Have a good night.